to the new podcast, episode number 124. My name is Steven. I am joined as always by producer and co-host extraordinaire, my man. You know we're talking about Kelly.
I did it again.
You did it fantastically. Let's get to it. We had a nice little vacation, traveling the world, doing whatever it is. We did whatever was in your imagination. That's what we did. Just you guys can come up with the idea of what we did, where we went. It's all up to you, because whatever we did, whatever you think we did, we blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
100%. Glad to be back in the saddle again here, doing the show for you all, as we do. Got lots to get to this week. Tons of shit going down, obviously, with an amazing UFC card that went down. Bellator also on the same day, as well as a special Saturday Bellator. And lots of news to talk about. Olympics going down this week, Kelly. Great. It's been great watching the Olympics all last week and a bit here. It's been absolutely magical, as the Olympics are. We'll get to some Olympic talk as well. Talk some review in the reviews, and what working out and video games did we get up to this week? Only time will tell. You'll have to stay tuned to find out, folks. But yeah, man, loving the Olympics. Absolutely loving it. You know what I mean? The camaraderie. Just feeling excited about your country and competing. Canada, we got a small population here, but we're doing pretty good for our stuff. You know what I mean? Top 3 basically in a lot of the swimming events and shit like that. That's pretty tough to do. Those are kind of one of the marquee matchups, obviously, with the exception of the running. The 100-meter went down just this morning with our guy Andre DeGrasse getting third in the 100-meter. Unfortunately, he ran a good race, but just didn't seem like he just didn't get out of the gate fast enough. But still, a medal's a medal. Being the third fastest dude in the world isn't anything to be upset about, and you still got a chance to get gold in the 4x100 relay.
We have a 14-year-old in the swimming Olympics on the Canadian side.
Yeah.
Forget her name, but yeah, she's doing pretty good. So,
yeah, super good.
For 14, she's gonna progress quite a bit.
No, absolutely.
So that's pretty cool. 14's so young, man.
Oh, big time. There's a gymnastics girl right from Surrey too.
Nice.
And she's like super young as well. Yeah, she's hoping to get get a medal as well. Probably not going to get gold, but any medal. Like I said, this is the cream of the crop here, Kelly. The best in the world. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about it. It really, you know what I mean? Everyone's kind of glued to their TV. Obviously with the weird time change, everyone's usually here on the West Coast, we're getting the news a little bit late. Obviously, most of the shit's going down right in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Later in the day too. But watching an awesome volleyball game, actually. I don't mind beach volleyball. It's different. I do actually enjoy like indoor volleyball, but beach volleyball has always been kind of a fun sport too. But it was a real back and forth fist fight between Canada's B team against America's A team. And it was in the knockout round too. It was a pretty amazing match. America had steamrolled everyone, going 3-0, and then the Canadian team obviously had drawn the higher ranking of going up against the Americans, since they placed first and Canada placed last. But man, it was a back and forth match where Canada ended up winning it in the final, taking it to a third game. And boom, even for Canada to overcome their 8 mistakes, their 8 net violations to give the Americans basically 8 points for nothing, and then to come back, they looked really good in the first round, and then came into some troubles, giving the Americans the first set, and then coming out of the second set, they were down 6-0 right off the bat. And then came back to win that one, only to go toe-to-toe basically in the third one. I was on the edge of my seat. It was actually a really, really strategic game. A lot of back and forth, and kind of a controversial end to it as well, with the going to a review for a ball. They said no, it was overturned, and then to overturn it again in the favor of the Canadians. So Americans were not happy about it, getting a yellow card for arguing even, Kelly.
Wow.
I know.
I think the Canadians, they probably just like the fact that they weren't, playing in the snow. It's a lot less drag on their feet.
Yeah.
They can play a lot better. They're not as cold, It's
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
it'd
Yeah.
be easy playing on a beach with no snow.
Yeah, practicing playing in the snow all the time, 365 days a year. We actually get 366 days up here in Canada since all the snow.
Yeah. Plus, it's a different tilt to the planet.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
We got a longer year.
Everything has to be built on a ramp just to even it out. Take notes down there, America. Take notes. This is how we live up here. It's 100% true. No, I'm loving it though. I'm really feeling it. I'm feeling the Olympics, and I'm finding myself at first kind of, it's at first I was like, I'm not really into this year because of COVID and everything like that. But then now I found myself really glued to the TV and really into it now, and I am thoroughly enjoying the Olympics.
Nice. I haven't watched too much.
Yeah.
I've watched mostly the swimming.
The swimming's been
that's
good.
What I'm into right now. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Breaststroke,
Trying to get those fast laps.
backstroke, freestyle.
Super fatiguing.
Oh, big time. Absolutely. You see them after they've, gone through the race and they're just gasping. You know what I mean? That's kind of one of those, it's one of those things where it's such a weird sport, but it's so, it's so physically taxing.
Yeah. Move your whole body fast as you can.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Especially your legs.
Yeah.
It's just amazing the athleticism involved in swimming.
While moving water.
Yeah, exactly. And then trying to breathe, I think that's always the hard thing too with swimming as well, because you're
getting your rhythm.
Yeah, getting your rhythm of your breathing, and not only that, making sure you do have enough oxygen too. So it's very interesting sport. That's why I've always been fascinated by it too. Gymnastics, obviously, with the controversial backing out of Simone Biles, that's been obviously a lot of talk of the town. Some people are for it, some people are against it, but very, very controversial. She can do whatever the hell she wants to do. Really, if she wants to back out, I'm sure her sponsors aren't too happy about it.
No.
Yeah. But if she wants to back out, she can back out. No one can make the decision but her. You know what I mean? I feel, a lot of people. The one thing I want to say about it is a lot of people are saying like, oh, if she did compete, she'd look back at it and say, what if? But I think it's the exact opposite. I think she's going to look back. I think for her herself, like I said, she can do whatever the hell she wants to do. I don't care. But I think I feel sorry for her because I think she's going to look back at this, 10, 20 years from now and say, you know what, I should have done it. I should have just toughed it out and done it. Like I said, I don't know what she's going through, and I'm not upset one way or another.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she did all the work to get there.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like if someone took her spot, it would have been not as good of a gymnast. You know what I mean? So who cares? Like she didn't take anybody's spot, is what I'm saying. She worked her way there.
Yeah, exactly.
She deserved it, and she can do whatever she wants with it.
Exactly. I just, like I said, it's all that training, 5 years of training, just to kind of, when you get to the starting line, to say, I'm just not there right now. That just kind of sucks. I feel
with college, man.
Yeah. Oh, big time. I feel sorry for her. That's all. I just feel sorry for her.
I've seen people do it with college all the time. 5 years of college, and be like, I don't really want to do this shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, usually it's 4. If it's 5, you're pretty slow. 8 years in some cases.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to doctorate.
Make a career out of it.
Yeah.
All right, then. Without further ado, let's get to some MMA news. I think it's got to be one of the biggest announcements of the week here, Kelly. We will see Kamaru Usman take on none other than Colby Chaos Covington. The rematch has been confirmed for November. I don't know why.
I think that Nate versus who was it? Can't believe I forget his name. He just fought Nate Diaz, and then he beat him, but he got rocked.
Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards. Yeah.
I think Leon looked so bad in that fight they didn't give it to him.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, exactly. You can't. Nate Diaz was showing you his butt.
Yeah.
And you couldn't put him down, and then not only that, in the 5th round, you almost got dummied.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, he wasn't performing. Like, he wasn't putting on a show, which, Dana loves. And then he almost got finished. So it's like, do you really give... Like, who would be excited at that point? From
Absolutely.
someone who almost got like you think Nate Diaz versus Usman. I think Usman puts Diaz away.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
like if you almost got beat by him, is it interesting anymore?
I don't think it is.
Yeah,
I think there was more people saying let's see Nate Diaz versus Kamaru Usman.
Yeah,
for some
exactly.
reason.
Let's just see what happens, right? In a 5-round fight. I don't know. Like I just think there's nobody else right now. I think that's why.
Yeah, it's just really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Who would you give it to though?
Who do I give this fight to?
No, who would you give
Yeah, I
Usman?
know exactly.
I just don't think there's
he beat
anybody interesting.
he
right
beat
now.
exactly that. He beat Jorge twice.
Yeah. Colby sells tickets.
Colby does sell tickets. You know what I mean? Whether you like him or hate him, a lot of people detest him, and I think that's that's what people love about it.
And it's fighting entertainment now. It's not really like Bellator where they actually have a league. You know what I mean?
Like I said, Leon Edwards. You know what I mean? Shit the bed. He already just beat Gilbert Burns too.
Yeah.
Who was next in line? And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson lost to Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
So it's all these dudes have been sidetracked. So basically, the top 5 is kind of tied up right now.
Yeah.
With exactly that. I think if Wonderboy would have won, that would have made much more sense for him to battle for the
100%.
belt. But he lost. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He loses, and Leon Edwards looks bad. So what do they do for now? I think the only thing that makes sense, and I think these dudes have kind of called each other out. I would like to see Leon Edwards versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I would also like to see 2 guys who called each other out was actually Gilbert Burns looking to fight Nate Diaz. Gilbert Burns wants to fight Nate Diaz. Yeah,
interesting.
So he's actually calling him out, saying it's a Brazil versus Stockton type fight, and I'd be very interested.
Country versus like a city.
That's
That's pretty wild.
a little bit one-sided.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that matchup. Actually, Burns likes to stand and trade, but he also, he's a well-decorated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, as is Nate. You know what I mean? So I think it'd be a great stand-up war, and if they decide to go to the ground, it'd be great too. And I think it's the only fight that makes sense, unfortunately, would be Usman versus Colby Covington. How he kind of skyrockets back into the title contentionship, I really don't know. Rafael Dos Anjos is, he's not, I don't want to see him fight Usman again as well.
Yeah.
He's already fought Usman as well. And, he just, I feel bad for Rafael Dos Anjos just because he just cannot compete with these massive ass wrestlers at 170. He's too big for 155. But he's too small for 170. And especially the top dudes are these crazy ass wrestlers. He just cannot get past, unfortunately.
I think Nate fights Connor next because I don't think Burns offers enough money. Like the UFC won't pay.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you're right. That when I heard Gilbert Burns calling him out, I thought that's the first thing that came to my mind too. There's no way they're going to give you that fight, man, just because exactly that. It's not going to be enough money for Nate.
Yeah.
The rumor that's swirling around right now, and I don't know why, but it is Jorge Masvidal versus Conor McGregor is the next one. But he's a pretty big guy. Yeah, he's a pretty big guy. I don't see that one going down. I think.
Weren't they saying they weren't gonna let him fight Conor before because of his size?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the same. They are saying that Dana White doesn't want the matchup, but for some reason the matchup is apparently in the works.
He's losing so much now that who cares?
I think they're trying to get one hell of a seller. You know what I mean? They're basically the 2 cash cows for the UFC. And with the exception of Nate. I think Nate makes more sense to me. I would love to see the final trilogy of the Nate versus Conor. I think that one makes sense to me. Jorge is obviously going to be a nice match to watch. I would not be opposed to it. And I think I'd be a striker's delight too.
I'd watch the fuck out of it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's they're number 1 and number 2 for pay-per-view buys. So I don't know maybe if they plan on using that as a 5-rounder, a special 5-round non-main event type thing. I could see that. Yeah. Put that belt on the line. Absolutely. Yeah, I would like to see that. Yeah, I would like to see that.
Or a new one. You know what I mean?
Or a new one. Yeah, for sure.
They didn't have to just do it once.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think it should be defended. I totally agree. But you know what I mean? It's. I think it's going to be the same show. I think it's going to be the same thing where Usman will probably. I think he'll finish Colby this time quicker than last time. Last time he basically busted his jaw up so bad that he definitely couldn't continue. And at the end of the round it was a TKO, like right with with a few seconds to spare basically. I think he puts him out in second or the third this time. Usman's just on another level. He's just like this unstoppable force right now. I think the only person who's going to stop him is himself. He's just too good. His striking is just too good. And then if you want to wrestle him, he's going to out wrestle the shit out of you. I don't know what it's going to take to beat this guy. I don't know who can beat this guy. I don't think anyone can. I think Usman retires champ.
I think he'll be competitive for two rounds, but it's hard to argue with you. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
just on another level.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Colby's come back, but Colby's not as big as him. You know what I mean? I think it's what's going to take. It's just going to take a beast of a man to be able to beat Usman and get past that jab.
Yeah, I just think it's going to take 2 rounds to break him.
Yeah, I agree. Moving right along here, we got a big announcement out of Bellator. We will see Douglas Lima take on MVP for a rematch. Bellator 267, October 1st in London. So,
why don't they give MVP more top 5s instead of just like title fights? I don't get it.
Well, it's not for the title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because MVP. I mean, because Douglas Lima lost it. He lost the belt.
Oh yeah, I don't watch too much Bellator.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
It's done. No, it's all good. But he just lost the belt in a real stinker of a match against Amasov. It just was a kind of a real slow fight. But that's how Amasov fights, is just holds you down basically, and Lima tried to get out of it but just couldn't do much. But yeah, I mean it's a good step up, I think, for MVP again. Even though he got knocked, that was his first loss was against Lima. Diego Lima. But I mean, it's just one of those things where, I guess so. That's the only thing I could really, when this fight was announced, it's the only thing I could really say. I guess so. Okay, sure. Going down to London, just reported this morning, may have to switch with just the fourth wave kind of hitting some of these places hard, where the basically the unvaccinated are getting kind of hit super hard with the fourth wave.
Yeah, I heard a lot in California.
Oh yeah, exactly. California's got a lot of population, especially in the middle. I'm sure a lot of people in the north and a lot of people in the south got vaccinated, but in that middle, it's very redneck. It's very. I'm sure that they're red voters in the middle. A lot of farms and shit like that. So I'm sure they're like most of these people who just don't they don't believe in the vaccine. They
think it gives you autism.
Yeah, they think it's it has they also probably believe the Earth is flat too. Some of these people as well. So we're seeing it even here in BC in Canada. Where the interior. Yeah. Alberta's going to open everything up. Alberta's just saying screw it. Alberta's saying zero restrictions, zero this, zero that, and
zero
moving
vax.
Zero vax, exactly. But we're seeing in the interior now, where the interior is taking over our cases just because it's the majority of the unvaccinated people. And that's why we know anything from this thing. It gets everywhere eventually. It moves around everywhere eventually, and they're seeing it there. But not a bad matchup. Will I watch it? Of course I'll watch it. I think it should be interesting. I still think Lima takes the rematch. I don't think MVP's only got a little older and a little bit slower. And Lima kind of just seems to keep evolving. And MVP is obviously still the same super flashy striker. They gave him a bunch of cans again, that he beat up recently, and so it's not really anything to write home about. But it will be interesting that there's going to be going down in London as well. Or will it? They do have, the Bellator came out saying they do have backup plans if something does go down, especially the Russia card that's going to be going down with Fedor headlining it. What's going to happen with that one as well? They're saying that one could potentially as well be rescheduled to another location. But it was great to see Bellator, fans in the crowd for Bellator as well as it was UFC.
Oh, the cheers were huge.
Yeah, big time.
I've noticed that, oh man, the ambience was way better.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
A huge audience. After we say all the things are opening up, and you should still.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, hey man, if you're vaccinated, go and do what you want to do. Go and do what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's proven that you're not gonna make yourself sick.
You know what the worst was, when they superimposed the cheers from the audience into the fights. It was almost like a laugh track.
It kind of was, yeah. I know what you mean. They did it with football last year too, and they hadn't ironed it out, and sometimes it was just so fucking loud. It's this is ridiculous. The crowd wasn't this loud, And just like how the buttons they had to push, like for like a like a offside or something like that, or you know what I mean, different things.
Runs
exactly
5
that.
feet. The audience is like, yeah.
Exactly. They're losing it. He runs 1 yard.
Gets tackled right away. Yeah.
It's like he won the fucking Super Bowl.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be hilarious. Another interesting bit of news coming out of Bellator is Matt Meathead Mitrione released. Dude has been given his walking papers, and he just never really had it. His last fight, I mean, he always has these dumb fights where, the one that comes to mind for me is the Karatonov fight. When he kept on dropping his mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You know what I mean? And he seems to always... He seems to get into his own head. As soon as some little things like that happen, he always, he just kind of gives up.
I think he had major CTE back from Ultimate Fighter.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He played football before, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly.
And then he was saying he was talking to people in his head and all this shit, and on the show way back in the day.
Oh, exactly.
And he's only taken more punishment since then. He's definitely gonna be somebody who's struggling when they're older.
Oh, big time. Absolutely.
Pretty sad.
It is sad.
Because he probably didn't make a lot.
No, definitely not.
At least he went to Bellator. A lot of people get beat up in the UFC, don't make a lot, and then they don't get released, and then they have to, retire poor.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He seems like he does have money, though.
Yeah.
It does seem like he has money.
Yeah, that Bellator checks. I bet you his original contract was $1 million to fight.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I think that probably has to do with his release, is that he was probably making too much money at Bellator, and he just didn't have a great career. He goes, what I mean? That was basically, he hasn't had that no contest versus Karatonov for that kick to the nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was that was one of the nastiest kick to the nuts I've ever seen in my life. Then in a rematch he gets the shit kicked out of him for not having the mouthpiece in, and then then he gets TKO'd by Timothy Johnson too.
Yeah.
And then the Tyrell Fortune one where he gets the guy if you watch the replay of it, he goes in for the Tyrell Fortune, goes for a takedown. Sure, he hits him with his head. Dude, clashing of heads happens all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Especially he ducks his head. Tyrell Fortune goes in for the takedown. He's just going for the takedown. Your head wasn't there when he ducked his head to go in for the takedown.
Yeah. And
then you're trying to argue with the ref that hey, there's clashing of the heads while you're on the ground. You know what I mean? Let the fight is going. You can't stop the fight because you feel like something happened to you, just like he was doing with the mouthpiece thing. And then he gets knocked out on the ground. He gets TKO'd on the ground.
He's always been big and durable more than good.
Big time, yeah, absolutely. And he's got the loss to Ryan Bader as well. So that's his last 5 fights. He's he's 0-4-1 no contest.
Yeah,
It's his time to go. Sure, he beat Roy Nelson, by, decision. His big win over Fedor was a pretty big one. That was a pretty good one, the New York City Bellator, where they both, double knocked each other out type thing, and then he got up quicker and then bapped him. That was a good win for him.
Yeah.
Ole Thompson was a big win too. That's a tough dude. And then just really from there, he lost, his UFC walking papers after getting knocked out by Travis Brown, getting choked out by Ben Rothwell. But he has some decent wins. He actually has a win over Derek Lewis. He actually has a KO over Derek Lewis, right under 41 seconds too. That's a huge win. Gabriel Gonzaga has went over, but he also got choked out by Brendan Schaub. So that's one you don't on your record.
Yeah, that's bad.
That is bad. Some big wins though,
That's like saying you're worse than Travis Brown.
Exactly. Pretty much is. Didn't win on the show, but he started his career, in the UFC. So that's tough. Starting your career in the UFC, where does he go from here? Kelly is now 13-9. Who's going to pick him up? I don't know anybody who's going to pick him up. But yes, we'll see Meathead somewhere else, or will we?
Bare knuckle.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. And speaking of bare knuckle, I think it could be the potential landing spot of another person who's not going to be released on their own accord. Is Stipe Miocic upset with the UFC and he wants out That was the first thing that came to my mind, Kelly, of where he could land. Just you know, I mean, I don't think I think he wants too much money. I don't know if Bellator can afford him. But Stipe wanting out, Arjan Bowler, local hero here in the lower mainland of BC, urging ONE FC to do a trade with the UFC for Stipe. I don't know why he'd want Stipe to come over and fight him. You know what I mean? So she's got it pretty easy over there, and I don't think Stipe goes over there as well.
No. I think he may possibly go to Bellator just because he gets, he can wear sponsorships on his clothes as he's walking out and all that shit, and he can actually accept sponsors. So, some people make way more in sponsorship than they do.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyways. So even if Bellator offered him like $2 million for a fight, and he got his sponsors, who knows, man? Could be close to what he's used to.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. No, absolutely. That's what a lot of people say. Corey Anderson going over to Bellator saying he made more in his one fight than 4 fights in the UFC.
Yeah, and then I believe the UFC says that you can't have like certain sponsors on your Instagram and all that stuff.
Oh my God, really?
I think so. I'm not positive. I'm not gonna say that I know that definitely, but I think they do. So like you can post way more shit. I know, like, Conor McGregor posts his, like, his whiskey all the time. Well, it's not his anymore, but he's still getting paid from the company.
He's obviously upset about the, not getting his rematch. He wants the immediate rematch. I'm not the hugest fan of the instant rematch. If it's a close fight, I have no problem with it for the title. But I think you're just tying up the title too long. And I understand... Hey, Stipe wants that rematch, but I think he's got to let somebody else go in line first.
Yeah, no, he got a fight. He got his rematch against DC. You can only get so many rematches as a champ.
Exactly. He got exactly that. He got the rematch with DC one. Then then he gets kind of the rematch. Against. It's not it's just a second fight, against Ngannou. Obviously Ngannou, the first one was not there mentally, and here he comes, the second fight and just tools him in the second round. You know what I mean? If it was closer, like I said, I'd have no problem with the argument. But it was pretty one-sided, and I think I don't know. Maybe if he has that in his clause, I don't know. But to get that instant rematch, some dudes do have that in the clause when they sign the dotted line for a fight like this. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with him, because he is very, very upset. I think he just was upset about the way he was treated when he was the champ as well, for not coming back and fighting quicker. Certain times they threatened him with stripping the belt, so I think that has to do with it as well. They threatened him, and now here Francis Ngannou, who doesn't want to fight till a little ways down the road, and they aren't doing, sure they have an interim belt coming up for some weird reason, but they aren't going to strip, they aren't threatening to strip him for saying for his inactivity, but they did that to Stipe, so I think he's upset about that. And there's a bunch of different things, is can the relationship be mended though, Kelly? I think it can be, and I think it can be with a big paycheck and another marquee matchup. Would I've liked to seen him versus Cyril Gane or Derek Lewis? Yeah, I would like to have seen that too. For the then that would have been, then I think he would have been happy with that. But I don't know if he was even contacted or basically written right out of the picture altogether. Who knows what that happened? But where Stipe goes, I'm hoping it's bare knuckle. I hope it's bare knuckle, because I think he can do a lot of damage, and I think he'll get the money he's looking for.
I don't think they release him. I think it's a John Jones thing where they just keep him captive.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, I could totally see that.
UFC is pretty evil right now.
Very evil, absolutely. Yeah, they're not treated like people. That's for damn sure.
Well, it's like any small business that gets huge. It's just people get lost in the numbers.
So. Oh, absolutely. Yep. You definitely become a number, and that's how they treat these people, right? Except for Conor McGregor, because Conor McGregor brings in lots of numbers.
I'm not sure. Is Conor McGregor on the boxing union, since he was a boxer at one point?
I don't know. That's a great question, Kelly.
Because if he is, that means he can't legally be held to any organization, which means the UFC would bend to him quite a bit.
Wow.
But I'm not sure. That would be something I'd have to look up for next time.
Yeah. Interesting. Another bit of interesting news here, and obviously we talked about it, more made fun of it, And here is the very underwhelming Social Gloves event. Apparently has hemorrhaged money and is now being sued by the participants of it. If you didn't watch this thriller of an event, which
Since you haven't.
It was YouTube stars versus TikTok stars.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just me. I knew none of these participants. Yeah. Zero of these people. No one watched it. No. And a lot of people lost a lot of money with this. People foraying, James Harden trying to do his foray into trying to get into the successful celebrity boxing. But these people really aren't celebrities. And you know, I mean, they were hoping that their notoriety would translate into buys, and surprise, surprise, it did not, because these people really aren't celebrities.
You unbox cell phones. Let's see you fight.
Yeah, it's despicable. It's absolutely despicable.
That's ridiculous, man.
And one of the guys is now being sued for $100 million over this, because a lot of fighters have not been paid. So all these dudes did this, gave themselves brain damage for no reason whatsoever, and people are not being paid for it. So not only that, they went into it, they thought it was going to be a huge success. Now, of course, it's going to be a terrible success. You know what I mean? I think the demographic, obviously, when it comes to combat sports, when it comes to boxing, MMA, or kickboxing, it's going to be older dudes. You know what I mean? It's going to be guys. You know what I mean? I'd imagine it's 25 to 40 is the demographic. How many 25 to 40-year-olds do you know, Kelly, that are into reaction videos on YouTube? You know what I mean? That, because I don't know who any of these people are. That's the only thing. Exactly. Who are into these stupid videos on YouTube? You know what I mean? That are just clickbait videos, basically, or and even to a lesser extent, TikTok. Like, what guy is into TikTok?
Dude,
I don't know.
If you're into TikTok, you should be watched. You should be on a list. Like, these are kids dancing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. TikTok, I think, is, you know what I mean, and I'm not being sexist or anything, but is definitely a site, you know what I mean, it's a thing for teenage girls. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's teenage guys on it as well, but it's not the fighting demographic. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they're surprised that no one bought this event when no one knew who was on it.
It's like,
you got zero star power.
What percent of TikTokers, I guess that would be called, just only like the fighting? Like, you know, you get customized feed depending on what you usually watch, I guess, on TikTok. My daughter has it. So anyways, I guess I wonder what percent is like the people that is like, I just want to watch fights, man. Skip. Yeah. Oh, here's a fight. Like, I doubt it. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? That's why you gotta download TikTok.
No, exactly.
You're gonna download World Stars.
Exactly. You're gonna get your shit from YouTube. You know what I mean? YouTube. But it's not gonna be some guy like some YouTube celebrity. No, you know what I mean? Some YouTube personality that's even doing that as well.
No, exactly.
They didn't get any of those people.
It's gonna be like somebody who wants to just watch the Bellator live, so they go to YouTube, and they have the live events there usually.
Oh, exactly.
Sometimes they have bare knuckle like on their cards. It's like shit like that. It's not like you're looking at, like I said before, some guy unboxing a cell phone and be like, oh man, I want to watch him actually box. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, not at all. No, I know. No one asked for that. That's why when this thing was first announced, I was like, why?
Yeah.
And these people are not fucking celebrities. That's the biggest problem with this thing. You're not going to get these people who watch and subscribe to their videos or to their TikToks doling out the dough, and it was a huge flop. They anticipated something like 2.2 million buys.
Oh wow!
And I know, so they set the standard so fucking high.
Based on what?
I know exactly.
You think everyone who follows this guy on YouTube is gonna like watch his fight too? Is that what you based it off of?
Pretty much.
How many subscribers does he have? 500,000. Sweet. Every single one of these guys are gonna want to watch this guy fight.
Nobody. Exactly. And then it's now the guy's selling off his assets because the guy's being sued. He's being sued left, right, and center. And they're just all this shit was not Like, they did not meet any of the marks they had set out.
Yeah.
Who is behind all this is a bunch of fucking idiots.
Sometimes I wonder how people got rich in the first place. Is it you bought cryptocurrency when it first came out, or like did you make a fart app? Like what was it? What was it that got you rich?
Yeah, exactly. Multiple ways, but it was not being a celebrity boxer.
Did you just start like a rental service? Like, what'd you do?
Yeah, exactly. No, there's multiple different things. But it's very interesting, and to the shock of nobody, that this thing did not go well. They're even trying to sell shirts and shit.
These guys are the ones that thought opening like a video store in the early 2000s, I mean, was like a good idea. It's like, oh man, all these blockbusters are going out of business. Everyone will have to come to me.
Exactly. They had that whole take on that on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, too. It's pretty funny. They're like cornering the market. Because there is no market.
That was funny.
Good stuff. Yeah, very interesting. One thing I wanted to talk about with all the bare knuckle boxing stuff we've been talking about recently is one dude who was I thought he was a total internet star and actually had a decent MMA career as well. And so I looked him up actually the other day. Rene Level Martinez. He was a backyard bare knuckle boxing dude that I got hooked on. Just shredded, covered in tattoos. Just a dude who was knocking out people left, right, and center. I remember one of his matches, they put him up against this special karate guy, and he fucked him up. He beat the fuck out of this dude. Basically, one-punched him, and he had tons of these backyard brawls where he just was messing dudes up left, right, and center. Didn't do bad in MMA. Fighting out of Florida as well. He's got a good record, 6-1 with one draw. Only he did get TKO'd back in 2013. He hasn't fought since 2014. But there was so when I searched him up, Kelly, this thing came up about how he'd found God and stuff. He'd found God. He's 45. I guess he was a leader of a notorious gang in Florida as well. And so he was a big time gangbanger and a crazy ass fighter. And found God and changed his life, turned his life around, and now he talks to kids about not joining gang life and that type of thing. And I was like, oh man, he would be great for bare knuckle boxing. Let's look him up, see what he's doing. He should get into it. And I'm like, doesn't look like he's doing anything now, but preaching really. He had like a total like moment where he said like he always felt like he had this halo on him. He always felt like he had like this aura of protection. And one day he said God came to him and said, hey, if you still want that protection, you're gonna have to believe in me, or else I'll remove your protection. And so he's like, okay, I'll go to God. And whatever. People find different reasons, but it was just a very interesting story about how a dude, devoted his life after being, I guess a pretty bad guy, and never getting caught, never, all of his friends were either dead or serving life in jail. So I think that obviously that was probably a sobering moment for him as well. But really interesting. If you haven't checked out this dude's YouTube videos, his bare knuckle backyard fight, just like a lot of these Florida bare knuckle backyard boxers, this dude was the real deal. He was a real fucking killer. And check out some of his videos. Like I said, the one where he's fighting the karate guy, he just fucks him up. It was a super fucking beatdown. And some of his MMA fights weren't the best, but he's got a lot of victories, a lot of finishes too. So check him out. Just some kind of interesting piece of news of a dude who I thought would be good, but it does not look like he will ever step foot in the squared circle again. Alrighty. Watching a little bit of Alone still, a little bit of a lot. A great show, down to 4 contestants. I haven't watched the most recent episode that's just coming up here, but whoo-wee, this season is really good. Everyone's basically had a close encounter with a bear now too here, Kelly, and the show is really ramping up. I cannot wait to see. I got a side bet going with my brother of who's gonna win on it. So it's I'm really loving it. If you have not checked out Alone, I'm still on it super hard. Check it out in your local listings. Working out though. Working out this week. I really been doing it for myself here. I felt like I was super overweight. I was super overweight. I wasn't just feeling it, I was looking it. And so I've really been doing the workout. It's just basically like with the heat, I was working out for a week, and then we had that super heat wave, and I kind of didn't do it for a week. And then, I kind of steamrolled into 2-3 weeks. And then I felt like I was really packed on even more than I was before. I was probably just under, like, I bet you I was like probably like 225, which is the heaviest I've ever been. And not in a good way. It was just straight up gut. And so I've just been, hitting the recumbent bike 30 minutes a day. I'll hit it, and then I'll do some like serious stretches. Do a good amount of stretching out everything, basically, if you know what I'm saying. No, seriously, just doing some great stretches and shit like that. And then I've been doing push-ups and sit-ups. So it's been basically like a prison workout routine, and I feel great. I've lost like 10 pounds. I'm like down to like 216. I feel really, really good. My stomach feels stronger again. Like it doesn't feel like, I can feel like it feels like, like super hard. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I was kind of felt in like my armpits almost, like my armpits, but it's, good just from the push-ups and the stretching and that type of thing. But I feel way, way healthier now. Even, losing that 10 pounds is like a huge weight off my chest. Feel really, really good about it. Really just getting this good sweat on too for my workouts. And, like you said, Kelly, that's what kind of thing that stuck with me. It's a lot easier to keep in shape than it is to not work out and then try to work out again. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of, little by little every day. If I keep at it, I think I'll be good. I'll probably plateau, I'm sure, at 210, and then I'll have to, kick it up a notch and do something else or something like that. But hoping to get back down to 200 and just feel a lot better. My pants weren't fitting. My belt was at its last loop. It's a small belt, but still, my belt was at its last loop.
I've made like 3 extra holes at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, time for a new hole. You just grab a knife, stab the middle, and twist.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Nice. That's hilarious. Yeah, but I'm really feeling good. I'm glad I'm working out. What about you, Kelly? What kind of working out you been getting up to, man?
Mostly just swimming laps and then a little bit of light lifting. That's about it.
Nice.
Not too much. I've been doing physio twice a week still, so.
Nice.
There's that. But yeah, not much to talk about. That's about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Swimming. I really want to get into swimming. I really want to get into it. So when I was going to Kamloops and we were swimming in the pool all the time, I kind of got like my breaststroke down. I really didn't know really how to do it before, but I kind of got into it, and I was really covering some ground.
I didn't realize how little endurance I had in my shoulders when I started swimming again. But it was like a while ago now. But like, yeah, man, like it's kind of like even if you like lift weights and all that shit, your arm, like your shoulders have like hardly any endurance, man, for swimming.
Really? Yeah. No, swimming will definitely, that's definitely the hardest workout you can do. And then it'll definitely show where your weak points are. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely would love to get into swimming.
Do it.
I will. Alrighty. Let's get to it here. Back by popular demand. Reviewing the reviews. Doing our coast to coast of McDonald's across the great country of USA. And we're going up to Montana. And this one here is in Great Falls, Montana here. As, for a state that is quite underpopulated, this one's got a lot of reviews here. 1,502 reviews here, Kelly. And it's got 3.5 stars. Kind of shows how easy these people are to please. That they give McDonald's good reviews. Mm-hmm. There we got some bad ones here already. This is good. This is some good shit. AR, I love this. Look at these pictures this guy took here, Kelly. Taking pictures one picture of the sky, one pictures of the parking lot, and then another one's like a curved one of the parking lot.
Looks like he was took a picture of the parking lot and then a couple more as he was falling.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like. Oh, man. AR, and this guy's got a lot of photos. 72 reviews, 374 photos, 2 stars 6 months ago. The drive-through and the way... Hold on a second. The drive-through and the way the parking lot is set up is terrible. If you park and go inside, you have to get around the drive-through just to exit the parking lot. The food tastes like it's been frozen for a while. Service was okay. Very weird. The food tastes like it was been frozen for a while. Okay. Very interesting.
Oh, yes.
Very interesting.
So it has freezer burn.
I absolutely love this one picture though, Kelly, just of the sky. Like, well, oh no, there's a better picture of it, but it doesn't. It's like of the grass and the building beside it. It doesn't make any sense. Good job. This person probably just makes them. They can't set up the fucking parking lot. You goddamn fucking idiot! Like what a dumbass thing to say. Like to make fun. I love it when people make fun of the parking lot. They hate the parking lot. It's fucking the best. This one's interesting. They got pictures too, but I wonder what these stains are. So let's there's some stainage on their stuff here. So let's see what they got into here. LB 25 reviews, 2 photos, 1 star 7 months ago. Stopped in at lunch order God damn America, can you fucking spell? And this is all no, there's a period there. Okay, it's this massive 2 sentences. Stopped in at lunch order to make ribs. When I got the bag, there was sauce all over the bag, sauce all over the boxes. The sandwich were just thrown in, the most disgusting thing in the world. I'm reading it as is written. I'm sorry, folks. I'm reading it exactly as is written. The sauce was the most disgusting thing in the world. Interesting. Was told that was the way they can't make ribs are messy. They remade them after arguing with me that's the way they come. Never seen it that way before.
What, messy?
Whew.
Okay.
That was painful. And it's fucking ribs. Have you never eaten ribs before?
I want clean ribs. No sauce.
I know. No sauce.
Just fucking ribs.
Jeez Louise. And who's going to complain about ribs from McDonald's? Why are you going to get ribs from McDonald's in the fucking first place? Yeah. Disgusting.
You don't go have a fancy rib dinner at McDonald's.
I'm giving this guy 1 star for being an absolute fucking idiot and 5 stars for fucking not being able to spell at all. Like, what is wrong with you? How drunk were you?
Yeah. You know they make, like, ribs on a fucking, like, the same grill they make burgers on, too. It's like, it's
of
not
course.
Like flame or anything. It's just fucking heat.
Of course, no, exactly. It's all in like a fucking heater, exactly. Yeah, yeah, it's like a big microwave, basically. Here's another funny one of someone saying they had a cheeseburger without the wrapper, just a cheeseburger thrown in their bag.
That's funny. You sure?
I know.
Maybe it fell out of the wrapper. I don't know.
Oh, this is great. This is great shit. This one, and this guy even has an update. GS 97 reviews, 22 photos, 1 star 10 months ago. He starts it off with presentation is key. Then why the fuck are you going to McDonald's?
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Why in the fuck are you going to McDonald's if presentation is key? These entitled pieces of fucking shit, Kelly, are what's wrong with society and what's wrong with the world.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man.
This is why fast food restaurants in the U.S. are having trouble keeping people right now. Because, like, you can make more money not working.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or you just work all day and stay in
I love that. You know what I mean? I love that. That's a thing too. You know, with the they can't get people to come back to the to like the hospitality industry or the tourism industry
because everyone's dicks to them and they don't make any.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it right there. And they're like, oh, we're gonna have to come up with some government incentives. How about this? Pay them more.
Yeah.
Here's a foreign concept for you. Pay the people.
Yeah.
I know it may be out of the box. I'm thinking outside of the box here, Kelly. But don't give them minimum wage to do a job where they just get yelled at all day.
But then they can only afford one supercar a year.
Sacrifices must be made. I just love it. Government incentives. What the fuck does the government need to do?
That's like in Walmart. Like the government actually pays Walmart to be a business.
Oh, I know,
they
exactly.
Get so much money in fucking subsidies and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like everybody who works there has access to like these government services because they don't make enough as well.
Oh yeah,
So
that's how these places are billionaires. You know what I mean? Is because they don't pay their employees,
and then they don't pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely. They could give everyone like a $5 raise, and still be billionaires.
Yeah,
but they just that's the problem with these rich people. They didn't get rich by being nice.
Yeah,
and their wealth is just making wealth.
Yeah,
it is pretty disgusting. Like with the space race and shit like that. These companies are fighting to race to go into space for tourism.
Yeah.
When they don't pay any taxes, and and the government just won't go after them.
Yeah.
Because they think, these people are creating jobs. They kind of aren't. The jobs would be there one way or another, and exactly that. They're taking the more money the money they're taking from the government with subsidies, and everything else is through the roof, and then not paying taxes.
Like, people they do pay taxes. It's like not as much as they're taking back in subsidies.
Exactly.
Not nearly as much.
Exactly. And especially percentage, that we pay for taxes is way bigger percentage than they pay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Moving right along.
If you say if I pay you $5 and then I get $50 back, I'm not paying taxes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Let's go back to this jerk off here. Are we expected to eat this sandwich the way the burgers are shown? I'd like to believe that most people would reassemble the sandwich so that everything is even throughout.
Really? You think that was like that time?
I know.
They'd literally huck the shit on the burger and wrap it up and throw it down the thing.
So why build a sandwich that requires reassembly?
Reassembly.
This person's a fucking straight psycho. The police need to be watching this guy. How much more difficult is it to build a sandwich in a presentable manner? How much more time would it really take to do it correctly the first time? Or to simply fix it immediately? I realize that the workers are busy, and I realize that I may be expecting too much from McDonald's, but please try to fix it. Wow. You said it so yourself there, you fucking psycho.
Go to Subway, they have sandwich artists.
Yeah, exactly. They're not called a burger artist. And why do you keep calling it a sandwich? It's a fucking burger. What the hell's wrong with you? Go to a fucking actual restaurant if you want fucking food that has presentation and that is not assembled evenly for you. What a fucking psycho.
Like I said, most people fucking would earn more not even working there, so they don't want to be there. You know what I mean? This
guy's using big words incorrectly too. Like this guy fucking disgusts me, man. I'll fucking kick you in the fucking nuts. And he has an update. He's got an update. Months later, I decided to give this location the benefit of the doubt and try them occasionally. They use occasionally. I think your autocorrect there went a little bit wiry there, bud. Every single time, I am very clear yet friendly about receiving fresh fries. That's not out of control. For example, he doesn't even spell fries right. He spelled fresh fires. For example, I've said fresh fries, extra fresh fries. I like my fries fresh, out of the oil, please.
Sounds like a dick.
Big time. Yeah, that you're definitely were not being polite. If you said it 3 times, 100%. If you said it 3 times, you're getting fresh spit on your fries.
Yeah.
I really don't mind waiting, etc. And yet, 4 out of the 5 times that I've gone, the fries were seriously unsatisfactory. This doesn't include getting my order wrong, giving me a total of a pickle and a half after asking for extra pickles, legitimately giving me someone else's order, wrong sauce packets, etc. I don't ever remember going to this McDonald's and... What?
probably recommend.
And some things not being wrong. I hate to blame management, but the leadership here is not doing its job. If I never ate here again, my life would literally improve.
Okay, then.
This guy,
Probably.
you win the Gold Star, the And New Podcast Gold Star, GS, for being the worst human on the fucking planet. Please jump off a cliff.
It's like they're literally pulling up fries like every 5 minutes too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you want them to do. They have a fucking lineup, or you just like, I don't know, man. They'd forget about you. It's like so constant.
Of course. It's just these people that expect so much from McDonald's. It's fucking sickening.
Yeah.
Absolutely sickening.
Go one is super slow.
Did I even tell you what happened to me with McDonald's?
No.
I had a terrible experience at McDonald's. I'm gonna get in mine here.
I told you. Sorry, I think you told me actually.
Was it about the burgers that I got?
Oh no.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the drive-through is packed. The drive-throughs are usually packed. So I went in.
Yeah.
I go in and inside's packed. I'm like, whatever, I'm here now. And there's only one girl at the counter, but she's taking orders for the drive-through. I'm like, okay, no big deal. So I'm just standing there waiting. And she's like, okay, what would you like? I'm like, okay, here's it is. And then she's like, hold on a second. And then she takes another order. And then she's got half of my order on the till. I'm like, okay, weird, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm being patient. I'm sitting there, and then a guy comes over, and he's like, "Oh, I can help you out." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I think half my order is already on the till there." He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I see it here." And then what else did you like? I'm like, "Yeah, this and that, and this and that." And I like the McDoubles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Super cheap. Like a cheeseburger, basically with one slice of cheese. Which, it's good with me because the double cheeseburger is actually more expensive just because of two slices of cheese.
Yeah, it's like 40 cents more.
Yeah, no, it is. So I just go with the McDouble.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm placing the order, but the last second, he deletes a bunch of shit and adds a bunch of shit. I'm like, okay, weird, whatever. Maybe he just made a mistake and realized it now, and he's fixing it. I pay, I go wait for my food, and then I get it, and I go to the car, and we drive, and we're driving we went to this Central City Fun Park, which was a blast. I'll talk about that later too. But I open up, I give my son the burger, and it says special front desk order. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's all my order except for the burgers. They had fucking shredded lettuce in it and Big Mac sauce. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was so sloppy and so fucking gross.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't eat this.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I wasn't rude or upset. I wasn't like mean to the guy or anything. I was, I thought I was being extra not polite, which I am always polite to people.
Yeah.
Serving, and I hope that they didn't fucking spit in or fucking put some shit in the garbage
like
in
they
it.
give you mini Macs.
Yeah, that's
how they make them.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, yeah. It was
the double, and then they put mac sauce and shredded lettuce.
I didn't know that was a thing, and it was disgusting. I didn't because the shredded lettuce was super soggy from the burger. You know what I mean?
Man.
So
you know what? I bet you. I'm not sure, but she was probably like punching in your McDoubles. And then like hearing like Mini Mac on the thing, and she's like punching it in like non-instinctively.
Son of a! But man, it was gross. It was super gross.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think they span it. I just think they.
I hope not.
They screwed up and gave you Mini Macs.
I didn't even know Mini Macs was a thing. That makes total sense now, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Big Mac. And all it is too is just less bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it, like it's like the same patties.
Oh, exactly.
Same amount of cheese.
Yep, exactly. Yep, that's what exactly. I've never really been a big fan of the Big Mac in the first place.
Yeah, that's probably why you thought it was gross.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, the shredded lettuce on the burger just was disgusting.
Yeah, if it was like slimy or something.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up with this last one here, Kelly. I'm looking for the newbie review, but I just can't find it here. DW, 18 reviews, 1 star, 10 months ago. Walked up to ask for some dipping sauce. The manager standing behind the register doesn't acknowledge me. Looks at me, but doesn't say a word. Then tells an employee to go around and insert her card in the pay machine to pay for her food while I'm standing there. Then proceeds to talk to the same employee. Another employee walks up to me with a smile and asks what she can help me with. And I ask her for dipping sauce for my son's nugget. She politely hands it to me, and the manager looks at me and says, That's all you wanted? I replied with a yes, it was. Thank you to no help from you. Okay.
Wow.
I just love these people that they go up to the till and like they go up to the front and just, you know what I mean? I know
Yell at anybody who works back
it's
there.
their job to acknowledge you and say, hey, I'll be right with you or something like that. But still, if you really wanted that bad, you just gotta say something rather than going back and writing a review afterwards.
Yeah. It's probably one person was on break and then getting their food, and then the manager, I don't know, maybe it could have been on break too, but it still should have, like you said, oh, somebody will be right with you.
Pipe up.
Yeah.
Stand by and stand back. Stand down and stand by. Whatever the hell that famous president said.
Sure.
Well, let's take a little breather here. We will be right back after these brief messages. Do you have a lack of appetite? Yep. Can't sleep at night?
Nope.
Do you find yourself overthinking?
I always do.
Try weed!
What?
Marijuana's nature's gift to all you people out there who need the munchies or just need to take a nap in the middle of the day. Dry mouth? Drink a big glass of H2O. Smoke weed! Do whatever you want to do with it. Inject it. Eat it. Pour it into your eyeballs. Marijuana is a gift from the gods. Brought to you by the water company. What else you gonna drink when you got some harsh pasties, am I right? H2 Bros. Do you have a problem with getting your chickens plucked? Well, come on down, Crazy Larry's Chicken Pluckers. We throw them in a room and they come out, voila, all plucked. Don't ask us how, that's our family secret. Wink. We'll pluck anything. Your sheep, your dog, your cat.
Oh, man.
We'll even pluck your wife for an extra $50. If you know what I'm saying. All goes into the same room and comes out plucked. Crazy Larry's off I-95. Come on by and check us out and give us a wink. Crazy Larry's, not to be mistaken with Crazy Barry's. That son of a bitch stole my sign, Barry. If you're listening to this, you're a piece of shit. Whether you're jumping hurdles, jumping into that steeplechase thing into that big puddle of water, or running for your life, shooting arrows, or swimming in a big pool of water, one thing you will need after that race for the gold medal will be a big glass of water. You know where we're talking about. Official sponsor of the Olympics. Water! H2O. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water in the house. You know I'm talking. Tap water. Let's talk some motherfucking video games. First of all, I want to talk about the arcade, though. Went to Central City Fun Park. Super fun, man. Super fun. Brand new, arcade that's opened up. Really cool little place. It's got, tons of arcade games. Brand new. The place just opened, so everything's fucking brand spanking new. And they also have, bowling. They have, a roller rink where you rent, roller skates. And, mini golf, too. And then tons of arcade games. And the thing I really liked about it, the only thing that caused kind of weird, you only pay with credit card, which I thought was a bit weird. But you get a card, right? You get a card where you load all your tokens onto, and everything's tap. So you just basically tap everything's tap or swipe. So you just swipe your card through and it loads your tokens. But it also loads all of your tickets onto your card as well. So your card carries your tickets and your tokens. So I thought that was a really nice little touch. You're not walking around with all these tickets and shit like that. And there was one game where my son cleaned up, and it was like a new version of Rampage, 3-player Rampage game. And I was surprised it gave you tickets. Tons of different games I did not expect to get tickets from gave you tickets. And my son got like 500 tickets just from Rampage.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was super crazy. Not as fun, you know what I mean, as the other Rampages. Like, it's a bit pretty basic, really. You basically got, you know, one button does everything basically for you. I can see it's like fun, you know, I mean, it'd be super fun for young kids and shit like that. But the amount of different games they had was absolutely amazing. You know, spent about $65, and we had a blast. We were there for about an hour and a half. There's a VR setup as well. There was a whole VR setup as well, which I thought was really cool. And you know, the claw games, shit like that, Buck Hunter, tons of different games that, and most of the games, like I said, give you tickets, which I'd never seen before. Like, you know, most of the arcade games will give you tickets for playing. So I thought it was real cool. Check it out if you're in the Surrey area, Central Fun Park. Lots of fun, and you know, I mean, it was there was a lot of adults there. Like I said, there was probably more adults than kids. Like me with my kids being there, I was definitely in the minority for being there. But lots of basketball games, tons of different shit. I can't say enough about it. Check it out. Really a ton of fun. But for this week, the last few weeks, obviously, been playing the fuck out of Skyrim. Absolutely loving Skyrim. Shut up.
Is that new?
It's super new.
Wow.
You know, it just was so great not playing. You know, I haven't played it since 360, so you know, and then you know, so now having the super updated version, you know, on Xbox One. You know,
how would you compare it to Cyberpunk?
Ooh, good call. I really enjoyed Cyberpunk. You know, I know I'm probably in the minority of that as well, because I had it on Stadia.
Yeah.
So I had no
So
glitches. I didn't experience all the glitches that all these other people were talking about. And you know, I mean, coming from the Fallout world, I think I've been kind of acclimatized to buggy games. You know, Fallout would just crash for no reason at all, or different bugs would happen all the fucking time. You know, whether from Fallout 1 to obviously the debacle of Fallout 76, which was absolutely unplayable. I really enjoyed Cyberpunk just for how new it is and how different it is. I think it honestly could be toned down a little bit. I think there's maybe a bit too much in Cyberpunk of useless shit. But that's a tough call, Kelly. It's such a tough call because Skyrim is, you know, I played it so much.
Yeah.
I really played, and then rather than going back to play Cyberpunk again, I chose Skyrim. You know what I mean? So just because I haven't played it, and I'm really, really loving Skyrim. If I had to compare them, I would. I enjoy Skyrim. I enjoy Skyrim too much, unfortunately, for Cyberpunk. I like Cyberpunk. I'm not taking anything away from it. I really did enjoy my time playing it, but Skyrim is just Skyrim, man. It's just the funness of, you know what I mean, finding some random cave. You don't know what the fuck's in it. It may be a mission down the road for some weird thing, or it may not. Just we made some random cave. You go in and you find a new weapon or a valuable item you can sell. Shit like that. It's just unbeatable. And I'm really having a lot of fun with, you know, being my sneaky character. I've joined the Thieves Guild. I'm officially with them now. I had my house Carl. You know what I mean? She's like the girl that Lydia, I think her name is. You get her when you get the house from Whiterun. And I thought she was indestructible. Like I thought, like in battle, like if she would just get dropped and dropped to an E type thing. And then once the battle was over, she'd get back up. Type thing. I was mistaken. We got ambushed by these Falmer fucking assholes. I can't stand fighting these dudes. They're so annoying to fight. They're like these blind elves that they've lived underground for like a millennia, and your phone's gonna fall. And I hate fighting these dudes, and they ambushed me. I went into this one place, picked up a item, and then these doors open. They ambushed me, and she took the brunt of the damage like she normally does. But she didn't get up, unfortunately. She died. I was like, shit, there's my fucking pack mule. And she was actually really good for fighting, too. Like I said, she would take while I was using my bow and arrow, she'd be fighting these dudes off. And she did a lot of damage, but I did not know she could die, and she can. Damn. One thing that's funny about the game, I keep forgetting to use my shouts. You know, you got your shouts. You know, that's the whole fucking part of this. That's the main part of the game. I keep forgetting to use it, but I've been using it more and more now, and fighting dragons. I'm like level 22. I'm just not at the spot where like I'm fighting blood dragons, which are a bit too tough for me. Normal dragons I can beat, but blood dragons are just a bit too tough for me. I could beat them, but the battle would be so fucking long. So I usually just run from them. Just kind of going around doing the thieves missions, you know what I mean? Different shit like steal this or forge their numbers. And I'm going to start doing their main missions now and move along with them because you do get some pretty good gear from them throughout, you know what I mean, throughout the game. So do some more missions for them and just move around. I've kind of just walked around to all the major cities and just got them on the map now, so at least I can fast travel to the major cities whenever I need to. So that was a lot of fun. I kind of just went from one place to another place and just did as many little random encounter places I could find on the way there. And sometimes you find some pretty cool missions you got to do and shit like that. Just really really enjoying the game. Tons and tons. I've got some new cool bow. Like got a cool bow that does ice damage now and shit. You know what I mean, doing my alchemy and crap like that with it. Starting to have to branch out to other things just to get level ups. You know, that's the main thing of the game too, is, you know what I mean, doing certain things like blacksmithing, alchemy and crap like that, just so you can start leveling up without just the basics. You can buy level ups too, you know, which is nice. Certain people will teach you skills, and then you know all these skills accumulate towards your main level, and then your main level, once you level up, you can actually go into your perks and crap like that. So loving the fuck out of it, and I can't wait to play more and more every single time. It's one of those games where you can get lost in time forever. I had a problem with these fucking bears. I got to forgetting to save, and these bears kept on fucking killing me. And then I'm like, okay, I'll be prepared next time. Nope, forgot to save, and they killed me again. 3 times I got fucking killed by these dumbass fucking bears. And then eventually I got him, though. It is the fun part about, you know, being able to save before a battle. Because I went into this one battle where I got this cool ghost blade, and I was just getting owned. Like, this fucking magician was just fucking messing me up with like 2 shots. I was basically dead. So I had to just kind of luck out and fuck him up with my bow, get a critical hit, and lucked out. But there's a few of those times where you have to like just keep dying and saving, dying and reloading until you beat the guy. Like I said, level 22, so I'm hoping to get up to level 30 soon enough and start to be in trouble for anything I face. Well, you, Kelly, what games you get up to this week, man?
So Rogue Company is brand new on Steam.
Nice.
It's been out on other consoles for like a year, I guess. But if you would download it now, you get like the season 2 for free. So I downloaded that. Got the battle pass. It's okay. You know, it's like a third person, Fortnite-ish type battle. No, it's not even battle royale. It's actually objective based, so it's more fun. You know, you're like doing I think there's a capture the flag, but it's like domination, stuff like that.
Cool.
We have to capture points and kind of lock them down. One of the things I don't like is like everyone's the same height, so I can crouch down and like aim at the same corner and just like kill person after person after person after person, and you know it's kind of like it's almost too easy,
right?
You know, I was getting like all these you know, like 0.01% of people have done this. Where like
wow, crazy achievements, eh? Crazy.
And I was using my controller like I always do.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's okay. I wouldn't really suggest it over anything else. Like, it's not like a killer game that's gonna take it over anything else. But you know, if you want like a decent game where objective based third person shooter where you don't have to build, you know, it's okay. It's decent.
That's cool.
I downloaded Dragon Age Origins.
Nice.
I played it on Xbox before, but the Origins on Steam, it was like $4 and it came with the expansion pack Awakening.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I just got that. I started playing again. It's, you know, it's as fun as it was the first time. It's kind of like point and click and move the person here and there and talk to people, and the way you talk to people kind of changes the outcome of whatever you're doing. You know, if you talk down to people or if you're friendly, it kind of affects the storyline. And then like whether you're like a human or a dwarf and stuff like that, it changes the storyline as well. So there's lots of replayability. The graphics, they kind of hold up nowadays. They're obviously not the best, but that said, they could pretty much run on any computer, I think.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Maybe if it's not like integrated graphics, if it has like its own graphics card, yeah, I think it'd run. But yeah, there's not much to say. There's like a stupid amount of awards. You know, it's been around for a long time. So
I like the characters you pick. You know, there's so many different races you can pick, and then you know your class too in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really fun part of it. You know what I mean? Very customizable, similar to Skyrim. Anyway, but its own thing for sure.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, so obviously I've been playing Apex. I've been sticking to like arenas. I haven't been playing the battle royale at all. Totally.
Wow.
I'm not even interested anymore. And so many people are playing arenas now that they're actually bringing ranked arenas.
Wow.
Next season, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, so they got a new character. He's like a cowboy. It kind of reminds me of Little Nas X. Like
that's hilarious.
He has like a fancy cowboy outfit, kind of like from his video. But he's probably like gonna be one of the best legends. Like for some reason, instead of like making like an equal amount of defense legends and like offense legends and recon legends, they're just like doing tons of recon right now for some reason.
Huh.
And like the last one was Valkyrie that could like know where everybody's landing and shit like that. And then you know there's obviously Bloodhound that can scan, but everybody can see his scan. So you know it's almost like letting people know where you are too. But
interesting.
You know, it could be helpful though. And yeah, so there's like all these recon legends, but now they're doing another one who's probably the best. Like he can sense heartbeats. Like you remember in Call of Duty, when he had a heartbeat sensor.
Yeah,
he has that.
Crazy.
Like, just built in as his passive.
Oh, that's super crazy.
Like that's gonna be the most like.
Fuck, you'll find anyone.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
can't
god.
see anybody not wanting to use him.
Does does Pathfinder have a heartbeat though?
Good question. I think so. Probably a mechanical one.
Because
he does choke to death on caustic's gas.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it must then.
So yeah, you can sense heartbeats, and then another thing you can do is like slow down everything in front of him with his move. So if it's like you throw a grenade or whatever, you can slow it right down. I guess.
Crazy.
Get out of the way, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. And then his like ultimate, where he could put a huge dome over where you're fighting, so no one else can hear. So like you have way less chance of getting like third partied, right? And I think it also makes it so everything in that dome, it marks them for the whole team. That people that are moving a lot.
Wow.
So it's like one of the most like best. I don't know, like everything he has of recon is good for the game. Like good for hiding, hunting, everything.
Well, maybe it'll help people play as team members a little bit better.
Yeah. I don't know. I think everyone's just gonna keep choosing him.
Oh, big time.
I guess unless some people are homophobic, but he's actually. I think they made him like his sexuality. Everybody has a sexuality in the game. Like Gibby is bisexual, stuff like that. So I think they made him gay. So there's gonna be some people that are homophobic.
That's hilarious. So. Won't play him just because they're. Yeah, that's hilarious.
But he's gonna be so OP unless they buff people. Like right now, Revenant is super OP. Like he can climb anything super fast. He can duck, walk, like shoot super fast. He has that thing that causes damage plus makes it so you can't use your ultimate. And then he has his totem that makes him so he can like attack you and then die twice. You know what I mean? So the whole team can die twice. So he's pretty OP right now. A lot of people get mad when other people use him because of that. They think it's cheating. But man, he's in the game.
He's in the fucking game. Exactly. It's not cheating.
Yeah, chill out. It's just a game.
You be him then, exactly. That's bullshit.
Exactly. You be him too, exactly. So, but I've been playing arenas a lot, and I've been playing Lifeline a lot because I find Lifeline in arenas, like if you have a Lifeline on your team, you have a very high probability of winning unless the other team has a Lifeline too. And I always buy the gold shield. That way, when I revive somebody, they have like half life, half shields instead of just returning with like a quarter life. So, yeah, I can like revive my whole team like most levels if they both get knocked. I've been doing that and just like winning like most of the games unless I said like the other team has a lifeline plus if they're like actual people that know each other and talk to each other during the game.
Right.
We're probably not gonna win. Just because if I have like a good couple of randoms, maybe, but that usually doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like we usually
super rare
play as teams. Yeah, like one time, this one guy like rushed the other team.
Yeah.
He was a Revenant. You rush the other team, and then me and this other guy were just grabbing shields and materials, and he dies, and then we go in and we kill like the whole squad,
Yeah.
and we win that level. And he's so mad that he's like, I'm not even playing with you guys. So he goes off and hides in a corner.
Oh my
And then we're playing and we're
God.
like knocking 2 people down, then like dying or whatever. And he's just sitting in a corner waiting for us to die and then shoot it. And then I was just
What
like,
a loser.
I was just like, it's so funny that you're like literally crying in a corner because you died the first round and we were too far away to help you. It's like
What a loser.
it's like maybe it's time to put the game away.
I know,
You know
right?
what I mean?
Fuck.
So yeah, some people like that. I don't really care. I just laugh at it. It's like whatever.
No,
It's
still,
just a
why are
game.
you playing the game?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just tons of arena. Been playing. I either do. I found Mirage is pretty good with arenas just because of his ultimate and his abilities.
You've always been a huge fan of him.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? He also goes invisible when he revives, so I get a gold shield with him,
Oh,
or gold
crazy.
backpack with him, so I can revive and people can't see. I actually won the last game I played with that. I revived the guy, and I had hardly any life.
Wow.
left. But when I revived him, he had like half of everything, and the other guy had hardly any. But I know he had more than me,
Yeah.
right? So I revived the guy, and he was shooting everywhere around me, but he couldn't see me, but he could hear me reviving.
That's
the other guy
hilarious.
pops up, half like kills the guy. I get knocked in like in
Yeah.
the meantime when he's shooting at the other guy. And then we end up winning.
That's
because of it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He just shooting
Yeah.
everything.
So Mirage is actually a really good medic.
Yeah.
Like people don't use him a lot as a medic, but you know he goes invisible. That's one
huge.
of the best. With Lifeline, yeah, she doesn't have to touch you, but she doesn't even have a shield in the arenas.
Right.
So you have no protection. Usually, if you can be seen, like you get knocked somewhere that you can be seen, and you don't cross somewhere better that where I can revive you, where you won't get shot, you'll just get killed anyways. Like they'll shoot you as you're getting revived. So, yeah, it's always it's always hit miss with that. But with Mirage, you can like revive in plain sight, but it just takes a little bit longer, right? Who else is good? If you play Wrath during Apex arenas, I'm just gonna assume you're either maining or you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if it's your main, whatever, go ahead. You know, you probably put lots of money into them.
What is she like? Just not like because I know you talked about last time how her warping ability is just basically useless now.
Yeah, it takes way too long to like go invisible, and then you can see exactly where she goes when she does go invisible. So it's pretty easy, and
They just ruined her.
yeah, it's pretty easy on arenas to kill him. And then what else? Like Pathfinder's decent. Gibby's decent because of his ultimate plus his shield. Plus his ultimate, I think you can use your shields faster within his actual
Oh, right,
ultimate
yeah,
shield.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that really helps a lot. Bangalore is good. Watson's not very good, but she does charge her own shields when she's not in combat. But arenas is a lot of combat, so you don't really got a lot of time to revive your
Right.
shields and stuff like that. And you're moving a lot too, so she's not that good. So I haven't been using her a lot.
Huh.
Who else would I recommend? Oh, obviously Octane. He's pretty good there too.
Yeah, you're saying you were finding he was like turned to be one of your favorite guys.
Yeah, it's because he's fast. You know,
Yeah.
you can rush or get out of trouble pretty quickly, and he does revive his life pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
So, he's a good person to have on your team.
Pretty huge attribute.
Yeah, one good thing about Watson is you can put out your little like your ultimate, and then that could revive your shields, like your whole team shields, pretty fast. But you're usually not using that either, so especially in arenas. So yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of people. Revenant's decent, obviously.
Yeah.
He's good. But yeah,
that's
I don't know.
cool.
That's about it. Also, I want to talk about that Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, let's hear about it.
So basically, if you're choosing between a laptop and that, the laptop's going to be more powerful for the same price, I think.
Yeah.
Just because they're putting all the joystick and all that stuff, all the technology into the Steam Deck. But if it's great for the Go. It's going to be way more powerful than a Wii.
Big time.
Sorry, what is it called? The
Switch.
new one? The Switch. It's going to be way more powerful than the Switch. I don't use Nintendo.
They're coming out with a new Switch
Yeah.
that's more powerful, and this thing is still way more powerful than the new one.
Way more powerful. So I thought I knew, like, the hardware on it. I thought I knew, like, how powerful it would be. But the more I'm reading about it, the more nobody really knows right now, because Steam used their own, I don't know, like, their own hardware and everything.
Weird.
Like, they hired everybody, and apparently the way they designed their graphics chip, their own graphics
Weird.
card basically inside this thing, apparently it's super fucking powerful.
Crazy.
Like super so that's I'm thinking a laptop should be more powerful than
Yeah.
it. But if it's somehow designed way better, then who knows?
Interesting.
So that's up in the air. We got to see some specs from that. But it apparently it's running absolutely everything on Steam. That includes Cyberpunk, which we were talking about before,
Yep.
with no glitches.
Huh.
So it must be a fucking beast.
It
And I
must
don't know
be.
how they did it for so cheap then. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so compact.
but the thing is too, maybe it's just because the screen resolution isn't that great because it's so small.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can
So
see
it's
that.
a compact resolution. It's not going to be like a 4K TV because they're not putting 4K
Yeah.
on a tiny little screen. And maybe that's why it's running so well.
Can
Maybe
you
it's not
stream
the
it to your
graphics card.
TV though? Like,
You can, and
Yeah.
apparently that cuts down on the frames per second. So maybe that's what it is.
Interesting.
Maybe it is just the screen that's allowing this thing to be such a beast. But we should see. But for now, I'm saying that a laptop is going to probably be better. And this is another reason why. You can only play Steam games on a deck. So if you have a laptop that can play all the games and you're happy with it, just get a Steam Deck
Yeah.
for on the go. If you travel a lot, even if you just want to play it in bed and you don't want a big laptop on you. Sometimes the laptop puts a lot of noise and heat too. Plus, if you just want to use the joysticks, like the actual controllers.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, playing in bed.
Apparently they're pretty good. They worked a lot on anti. What do you call it? Where it kind of drifts.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anti-drift. They worked a lot on that. They made it so they're super durable. You can smash them around. They're not gonna break. So I'm happy to hear all that
Nice.
stuff, because that's if that shit broke on a system that you couldn't take it off, that's huge.
Oh,
You know
big
what I
time.
mean? So I'm glad they worked on that. But I'm saying so for a laptop, you can download Origin, you can download whatever you want. You can play all those games. You can't do that on this Steam Deck. You can only do Steam games. So I'm
Right.
gonna say, if you don't have a gaming, if you're thinking about a gaming system, I'd say go for either a laptop or, better yet, a desktop if you have the room.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do have one and you're happy with it and you just want something to go, it just seems pretty damn awesome. Apparently, it's selling like crazy.
I could believe it. I could totally believe it. Everyone wants something new, you know what I mean, and something different. I think a lot of people are willing to, and just I think the one thing with it is they have different levels of it. And they got, they got the cheap one and the expensive one, and then one like right in the middle. You know what I mean? So I think it's one of those things where, you're throwing out quite the big net to attract all these other gamers, and I think with not just releasing just one, you're giving people options to be able to use it, and who knows? I think it's going to help out a lot of people for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's pretty cool. I was pretty stoked when they announced it, because I think people have been waiting for a form factor like this for a long time, that it wasn't like $1,000, because they have put out these like portable PCs before.
Yeah.
But man, they were like super. It was expensive. It's just like a regular PC. So
Yeah.
it's like, fuck it. Like, why would you do that, right? This is actually a reasonable price. Like you
Yeah.
said, there's 3 different options. Plus, apparently the hard drive, you can swap it out and put a new SSD in. So it takes like one of those like new stick ones that you put in the computers. I forget what they're called. It's like a different form factor. I just can't remember it right now. But you could buy them anywhere, like Newegg, put a new one. And so even if you got the cheap one and you just wanted to, use it for the whatever, like casual games, and then you wanted to upgrade it later, you could do that, and it'd probably be cheaper to do that than if you actually got the more advanced system.
Yeah, it's going to be a good sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's definitely going to attract people. I think, me personally, I think I'm going to be leaning towards a PC, and not getting Xbox. It's just still stupid. It's just still not available. I don't think it's going to be available for a very long time. Yeah. Everything, I can take over my Xbox membership. Everything can be transferred over to a PC, and that's probably just what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
broaden
man,
my horizons.
I open up the Xbox app on my PC all the time just to see who's on and whatever.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Just think it just what I mean, just like I said, with how shitty the rollout is, I highly doubt these things are going to be available.
And then Windows 11 is going to, like I said before on a previous podcast, is going to have like a huge Xbox integration, and it's going to have like a huge gaming integration. Like the hardware, they're going to like unlock certain things to allow for like more streamlined gaming.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. You know, I mean, people are, are getting computers to play video games.
Yeah. Yeah, because they can't find a console.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna stay wait a little bit longer before I really make a decision, but I'm almost 100% going towards that. Alrighty then. Let's talk some MMA results, starting with Bellator 263. Pitbull versus McKee. Good card, really good fight too. There was some stinkers, obviously on this one here, but this one did not disappoint. Let's jump right ahead. Oh yeah, Goto Yamaguchi versus Christopher Gonzalez with a nice TKO. Both the guys great grapplers, decided to stand and bang, and Yamaguchi just lands that nice little crisp 1-2 right on the chin and puts Gonzalez down. Busting at his nose before that. He really had no chance on that one. We get the snore fest of all these Dagestan dudes with Islam Magomed just really working Brett Primus. Keeping him on the ground. Primus going for that stupid omoplata every single time. It was kind of disgusting. Every round was basically the same thing. Guy holding them down. Primus going for the omoplata. Nothing happening with it, and then it ended. I don't know how somebody gave the fight to Primus because it was a split decision win. Sure, he was doing a lot of stuff off his back, but you're not going to win a fight off your back no matter what you're doing. I think the ref should have stood it up more times than he did, which was 0, and it was very, very boring fight. We were booing. It was probably one of the worst fights you had to watch in recent memory. And then the other cousin of Khabib, Usman Nurmagomedov, gets a really nice TKO with the knee to the body over Luis Moro. Just cranked him right in the winder and drops him. That one wasn't bad. At least they were trading. We see the huge win for Mads Burrell over Emmanuel Sanchez. Emmanuel Sanchez, talking a lot of smack before this, and here Mads Burrell with a great takedown game. And now he's got a few big Bellator wins. There's 3 Bellator wins for him now over very tough dudes. Sal Rogers, and now over Emmanuel Sanchez. He's definitely going to be looking for a title shot next after this one for sure. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. AJ McKean getting the crazy knockout over Patricio Pitbull. It was crazy just to knock him out, and then basically he gets up. Thinks the fight's over. Pitbull gets back up, and then he gets that nasty guillotine. Was he out? Tough to say. But he wasn't. Maybe an early stoppage, but he definitely wasn't going anywhere from that. He was either going to get choked out, or he was going to get knocked the fuck out even worse after that. He wasn't standing. I know he protested a little bit, but AJ McKee becoming the champ over in Bellator and still and new. And still undefeated, Kelly. 18-0. Champion at 145. Champion at 135. This dude is trouble. He hasn't had a decision since 2019 over Pat Curran. He's got a lot of finishes. Lots of finishes. This dude's the UFC is 100% going to be calling. I don't think he goes to the UFC. I think he kind of goes the road of his dad and kind of takes, stays in the sticks. Where he can be the king for a very long time. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. Great fight, though. Great way to end the tournament. And he's also $1 million richer as well. Great way for Bellator to round out that tournament finally to have a finish. That brings us to UFC on ESPN 28. Hall versus Strickland. Good card. It was a lot of good finishes on this one here, too. Jason Witt versus Brian Barberino, definitely the fight of the night. Those dudes beat the fuck out of each other for the full 3 rounds. Didn't do great on my picks on this one here. Philip Rowe destroying Orion Koski. We have Zaruka Adadeshi beating Ryan Benoit. And then we actually had a draw. There was a draw. Kai Kamaka III drawing with Danny Chavez. Oh yeah, this dude here. This dude with the crazy head kick. These guys were just trading kicks like crazy. Malsik. Bagdasarian, yes. I practiced that one last night. It was not as hard as it looks. Bagdasarian getting the crazy KO victory over Colin Anglin. Just really dropping him with that head kick. He just did not block it and gets dropped. But these dudes were going toe-to-toe. That was a really good fight. And then Jared Gordon getting the quick KO victory over Nicholas Stoles. Knocking him the fuck out. Cheyenne Buys with another super crazy head kick finish over Gloria DePaula. What a head kick that one was, eh, Kelly? Just with her hand just getting off the ground.
Beautiful. And
blam. Kicked her in the fucking next week. Super quick finish. And then we see the long decision but it was an exciting fight of Sean Strickland.
Who could have seen this coming?
Defeating Uriah Hall. I know. If only someone could have predicted exactly how it would have went down. That would have been me. I picked Sean Strickland by decision over Uriah Hall, and it was a good bet to take. I thought it was going to be an easy bet. Uriah Hall, sometimes you can kind of see it in a fighter in the weigh-ins and that type of thing. And Uriah Hall, he sometimes he comes into fights with dudes that he's trying to be too nice with. And I think that's kind of what the thing I got from Uriah Hall on this one. He has these moments where he gets to the top and he chokes. And this is exactly what we saw here. Taking nothing away from Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland stood in there toe-to-toe, and I think he only lost basically 1 round for all, even if you could say he did lose a round, they did trade. The first round was very back and forth, but once Hall's nose and eye started to close, his nose got broken, his eye started closing up, and you could really see it after that. He didn't go out though. He didn't back down after that. He still was very, very tough on his feet. He was making Strickland stick to his game plan of being smart and being slow, just landing that jab, constantly landing that jab. And Uriah's face is a perfect example, of eating that jab all night long. Sean Strickland taking the huge win. One of the crazy post-fight press conferences saying if he wasn't doing this, he'd be cooking meth, and that basically the UFC doesn't want him to be champ. So it's going to be tough for them, especially with 185. Need some new lifeblood in it. I think this is a great move with Sean Strickland moving up. Tumbling down is Uriah Hall once again. Tumbling super far down the rankings with this loss here. And like I said, once again, he just chokes at a big moment. Just can't find traction when he really needs it. And where Sean Strickland goes from here is going to be very interesting here, Kelly. Who does he face at 185 coming up next? And I think the possibilities are really endless when it comes to dudes he could fight. You have dudes like Robert Whitaker, we know that Kevin Gastelum is going to be fighting coming up again here, but Darren Till maybe he could fight. A lot of dudes I think he's a problem for, and we could see it. He actually did lose to Usman. He obviously fought at 170 before. He lost to Usman and Zaleski dos Santos and Santiago Poznabinio. And that was actually his last loss, was to a spinning wheel kick and punches to Zaleski dos Santos. But he's been on a tear since. 5 wins in a row, all at 185. He's really found his place. Not fighting super tough dudes. Brendan Allen, I think, was a huge win for him, obviously. And Uriah Hall is obviously the next big one. Very, very interesting where he is going to land and who he will fight next. But nonetheless, huge victory for Sean Tarzan Strickland. Whew, that wraps it up here, my man. Just want to give a special shout out to everyone out there listening week after week, tuning in to Stephen and Kelly's And New Podcast. Check us out on Twitter @AndNewPodcast. Getting it done under the sun for all y'alls, get your buns and your guns out. It's summertime, folks. And we're underneath the smoky skies of the Northwest fires right now, but always loving summer, and hope you're enjoying the show as much as we are. Well then, for producer extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the News.